It was just over an hour ago that one of the biggest boppers in all of baseball got off the coast-to-coast flight, hustled his way to Veterans Stadium, tossed on a St. Louis Cardinal uniform, and began to meet and greet his new teammates. Tonight, Mark McGwire makes his National League and St. Louis Cardinal debut against the Philadelphia Phillies, coming up next. And hi again, everybody, with Kent DeColby. I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome to Sports Channel's presentation of Phillies baseball. Teague, August the 1st, you had a player with Hall of Fame credentials. What does that do for a club?
Well, I think for the St. Louis Cardinals, it does two different things by adding Mark McGwire to their ball club. Number one, obviously, a big veteran bopper in the fourth position that can, drive in runs for a club that is desperately in need of scoring more runs. They've got great pitching, have not been able to score runs. But maybe even more importantly, the addition of McGwire in that lineup makes the rest of the Cardinals think, hey, we can now score runs, makes them better hitters.
You had players on both benches out watching batting practice to watch McGwire, one of the legendary long ball artists in the game, just take his preliminary rips. He has outstanding career numbers. We haven't seen him on a day-to-day basis. What did the Cardinals get, Teague?
Well, you look right here and you look at the numbers, you see what they get. They get an established, solid number 4 hitter in the middle of a lineup. And Mark McGwire, over the years, if he is healthy, is probably the most dominant power hitter in Major League Baseball. So, they get a plug right in the middle of a lineup that needs it. And, one of the great things about it is one thing McGwire doesn't do, he doesn't run very well. Well, he's going to have all the guys on the Cardinals that want to run batting in front of him. He's not going to slow anybody down. So it's a great fit for the St. Louis Cardinals and Tony La Russa.
Obviously, the Cardinals in need of wins in a hurry to get back in the race. The Phils, they're at a high water mark right now, going for their first 4-game winning streak since 1996, and they're tossing Garret Stephenson out against Andy Bennis. That was the matchup the first time Garret Stephenson started as a Philly night. He wound up with a dozen strikeouts. Stand by, everybody. When we come right back, Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals meet Garret Stephenson and the Philadelphia Phillies. Your starting lineups are coming up next on Sports Channel. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, it's where you're going. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement. I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf balls around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Lapidochromis, Caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Let's see, what else do I have on this?
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Hey, the road ahead awaits you. You never know just where it takes you.
Hurry to Sears Road Trip Tire Sale featuring select Goodyear, Pirelli, Michelin, and Bridgestone.
Roll me east, roll me west, rolling free, that's the best.
Sears Auto Center, we keep you rolling.
Free to roll.
Sears Road Trip Tire Sale featuring the Goodyear Weather Handler. Sale ends August 2nd.
When I make an appointment for regular service, how do I know you're going to show up on time?
This is my mobile office. This computer tells me where I have to be, when I have to be. That's how the office communicates with me. They also contact me through radio or through the mobile phone. I use the phone to call customers ahead of time, let them know I'm coming. Customers don't have to wait. I've always liked working with people and their pets. I'm going to get there because you made an appointment and I'm going to be there.
We could not deny the RAV4 our top ranking.
The RAV4 breaks expected molds.
The RAV4 rides a great deal better than many a sedan.
Handling in both RAV4 models is excellent.
The all-new RAV4 recreational activity vehicle starts at only $15,118. Maybe we should start calling it the RAV4.
Driving it is great fun.
Warm and muggy night at Veterans Stadium. Great night for baseball as the St. Louis Cardinals, in desperate need of a victory, will trot this lineup out against Garret Stephenson, Delano DeShields, Royce Clayton, Phil Plantier, Mark McGwire batting number 4. Ron Gant will hit behind him. Gaetti, Mike DeFelice out of Upper Darby. John Mabry will make just his 3rd start of the year in center field for the ailing Ray Langford, and Andy Bennis will be on the mound.
The Phillies defense this evening has Rico Brogna at first, Mickey Morandini at second. Kevin Stephenson gets it started shortstop with Scott Rolen at third. Greg Jeffries in left, Ricky Otero in center. Derek May is in right field this evening with Mark Parent behind the plate. And on the mound, 6'5", 203-pound Garret Stephenson. Stephenson making his 12th start for the Phillies so far in the 1997 season, a 4-5 record and a 4.06 earned run average. Garrett's in the process of trying to establish some consistency to his outing. To this point this year, he's kind of been hot and cold in those outings. He had the good ones and then bad ones. He's only faced these Cardinals once in his major league career. That was his major league debut back on May 13th. He had a no decision, 7 strong innings that he worked against Andy Bennis in that ball game. He had a rough time the last time out last Sunday at Dodger Stadium. Was victimized by a couple 3-run homers. Mike Piazza and Eric Karros got him and lost that ball game by a score of 8-1. And going to try to get things going again tonight for the Phillies. Working on that 3-game winning streak, trying to extend it to 4.
Stevenson of the fastball changeup. And as Teague noted, has not seen the Cardinals since back on the 13th of May. Off-speed pitch to DeShields, who stands in batting .296, one of the league leaders in stolen bases out of Seaford, Delaware. And it's 1-1. Hold fair down the line. It's going to be extra bases for DeShields. Bangs around the corner. Delano thinking 3, and they got him coming all the way. It will be a stand-up triple for DeShields. His 10th 3-base hit of 1997 on a ground ball inside the line. He now leads the league in triples with 10.
Well, we've noticed in this series that Brogna has been playing off the line against DeShields. Made a couple good plays last night. Not able to get this ball as DeShields gets out in front of it and hits it right down the first base line. Derek May goes over into the corner, not able to corral the ball as it kangaroos off that sidewall, and then by the time he gets it, DeShields with a great speed into third with a stand-up triple to start this ball game.
You see Scotty Rolen even with the bag. There's the updated triples leader. Clayton at 249. The infield is basically back except for Rolen at third. Two and 0. Garret Stephenson making start number 12. Has shown good control, 23 walks in 68 2/3 innings. He has been around the plate. Fastball, high, foul, playable. DeShields is tugged, but will not come. Out number 1. Quality pitch by Garret Stephenson to get the pop-up.
Able to get Clayton to pop the ball on the right side with the infield back. The Phillies conceding a run if Clayton could get the ball on the ground in the middle of the infield somewhere, but Stephenson able to pop up Clayton in foul territory. Nobody out. DeShields not even going to think about taking a chance on that play.
And with the left-hand swinging Phil Plantier set to step in, the infield will stay deep. Even Scotty Rolen moves back 15 or 20 feet. Stephenson had moved himself halfway and then got the word to play it straight back, with Mark McGwire now waiting on deck. Inside corner, strike called. There he is. How's he looking, that uni?
Big. Real big. And that he is.
Strike called. Pulley gives the wide plate if you hit your target.
In the first 2 pitches, Stephenson has worked both sides of that wide plate to Plantier, the inside part first and then the outside corner. Cut himself ahead in the count, 0-2.
Looks like Parent wants the ball up. Seen more and more of that. Lieberthal likes to ask for the pitch up. When you've got a hitter like Plantier, why are you going to go high when normally you hear so up and you got to keep it down? You got to keep it down.
Well, what they're trying to do, they're ahead 0-2 in the count. You're trying to expand the strike zone, get him to take a swing of the pitch out of the zone. Just want to change his eye level a little bit.
Good pitch, swing and a miss for Stephenson as he wraps around the outside corner. And now it'll take a 2-out hit.
So it was in, out, up, and then the off-speed curveball on the outside to get Plantier to go down swinging. And Mark McGwire time at Veterans Stadium. First time since McGwire was involved in the All-Star game. Of course, he and Barry Bonds had that monumental confrontation in the home run hitting contest. As you hear the response of the fans here in Philadelphia as Mark McGwire steps in.
McGwire at 6'5", 245, 9-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year with 49 home runs in his first full season. And you know who his skipper was? The 10th player chosen back in 1984. All right, Teak, how are you going to pitch this guy?
Well, you got to crowd him, Larry. You got to keep the ball in on his hands. Some of those fans hope that he gets one out over the plate. Mark McGwire, a low ball hitter, likes the ball out over the plate. You got to keep it on his hands, and once you establish inside, you can get him to chase a bad breaking ball. Good pitch right there by Stephenson. Up, particularly up is the best.
Straight changeup.
Yeah, but you don't want to give McGwire anything down out over the plate that he can handle. Up above his hands, you see that uppercut swing went well underneath that pitch. So danger zone is down and out over the plate.
1-2 pitch. Right where he wanted it, but he lays off. Stephenson's fastball in the low 90s, 90-91, is changed high 70s, low 80s. Has a good differential in speed between those two pitches. Curveball, swing and a miss. So welcome to Philadelphia, Mark McGwire, and Garret Stephenson wastes a leadoff triple with a pop-up, a pair of Ks, and one he will never forget on Mark McGwire's first National League at-bat. Back in a moment.
With a Magnum engine here and spacious interior there, Dodge Ram van is all work. Add a seat here, a TV VCR there, wood trim, custom audio, and what was once all work becomes all play. The Dodge Ram conversion van. Add cash back here, plus packet values there, and you can get up to $3,200 off, making the Dodge Ram conversion van a superior choice, here and there. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
From the creators of $1,000 a week for life.
Watch yourself! Lady, wanna win a ticket here! Win a ticket in my hand, baby! We have only one chance!
Speak for yourself, darling. I have 8.
Honey, we won!
$1,000 a week for life, too. The sequel that's better than the original. Don't miss Red Hot 7s, also playing at a retailer near you. Play this instant.
Jumbo Gym Bag, courtesy of Amtrak for fans 14 and under when the Phillies play the Dodgers Sunday, August 24th at 1:35. Great seat locations start at just $5. Call 463-1000 and ask about the daily special.
Phil's batting home first as they begin their quest for win number 4 in a row. Here's the lineup they'll use. The red hot Ricky Otero, Mickey Morandini, Greg Jeffries bats 3. Scott Rolen, Rico Brogna, Derek May, Mark Parent, Kevin Sefcik making his 6th start of the year at short, and Garret Stephenson on the mound.
Take a look at the Cardinals defense this evening. They have newly acquired Mark McGwire at first, Delino DeShields at second, Royce Clayton the shortstop, Gary Gaetti at third. Ron Gant is in left. John Mabry gets a start in center field tonight. Phil Plantier in right. Mike DeFelice behind the plate, and on the mound, Big Andy Bennis, 6'6", 245 pounds of him.
Otero slaps it the other way. Bennis has always been tough on Philadelphia. Had some early season injury problems, but has been taking his regular turn the last 2 months to total 123 plus innings. Did he go? He did not, says Eric Gregg.
Yeah, when we talk about pitchers, you know, certain pitchers have certain clubs they like to pitch against. The Philadelphia Phillies are a team that Andy Bennis likes to pitch against. In his career, he's 13-4 with a 2.68 earned run average in 21 starts, including this year 1-0 with a 120 in 2 starts. And remember, the no decision he got was against Garret Stephenson. Garret Stephenson's major league debut. They both battled through the first 7 scoreless. So Bennis has done well against the Phillies over the course of his career.
Inside corner, got him looking. So Pulley giveth and Pulley taketh away. Strike out number 1.
Tailing fastball by Bennis on the inside part of the plate. The question there was it low or not? Mike DeFelice, a nice job of catching and pulling that pitch up, getting the call from Frank Poli.
Venice is one of the top strikeout pitchers in the league. Facing Mickey Morandini, fair ball the other way. And Mickey, one of the league leaders in doubles, is going to try for 2. The throw comes, and he's in there. For Mickey Morandini, that will be double number 33. He's now 3rd in the league behind Gretzolanek and Lansing, and it looks similar to DeShields the other way.
Yeah, Mickey gets it down the left field side, just inside the bag. Gaetti off the line. Mickey going hard all the way, able to beat it easily into second base. Ball didn't quite scoot all the way to the corner. It caught those stands on the side. Down to the corner. Morandini might have been looking at 3, but he'll settle for that double and get in scoring position with 1 out.
Greg Jeffries batting at 242 overall. From the left side, he's at 232. Has hit in his last 6. In the hole, backhanded by McGwire, who'll go it alone. He's not a stiff over there by any stretch of the imagination for as big as he is.
Yeah, Mark McGwire brings with him the reputation of being a good defensive first baseman. You know, you hear so much about the power numbers and the home runs and the monumental shots, but very good hands at first base. A pretty agile guy for as big as he is. Mentioned 6'5", 245 pounds. Moves around pretty well and decides, well, I'll take this one myself.
So Scott Rolen in the same spot McGwire was in the top of the first. 2-out runner on third base. To center field, tailing toward right center, and Plantier has out number 3. We are scoreless through 1 at Veterans Stadium.
I can't believe they went with the frogs.
Louis.
Our audition was flawless.
Louis.
We did the look. Huh? We did the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Louis, frogs sell beer. That's it, man. #1 rule of marketing.
The Budweiser lizards. We could have been huge.
Hey, there'll be other auditions.
Oh, yeah, for what? This was Budweiser, buddy.
know.
This was big. Those frogs are gonna pay.
Let it go, Louis. Let it go.
The most prestigious national authority on evaluating managed health plans has awarded Keystone Health Plan East a full accreditation.
By meeting all of the NCQA's rigorous standards, Keystone is among the top 20% of the nation's HMOs, receiving the highest accreditation possible.
We will continue to work hard to merit this accreditation.
Because we've understood how important quality health care is for you and your family for nearly 60 years.
For unsurpassed quality,
you can lean on us.
Hey, there's more to a Phillies game than just baseball. Check out the fan zone. Man, this place is awesome. Video batting challenge. Bet you the big green guy goes nuts in there. Some days they let the kids run the bases. Here we come into the bullpen. This is where I make my living. As you can see, I'm still in there. So come on out. It's fun.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. His plane landed just after 5:30, and there is Mark McGwire with a personal bat boy, and the media mob awaits.
Oh, and you're Mark McGwire, and you have just gone coast to coast twice in a couple days.
Explain that.
Yeah, the Oakland A's had just finished up a series in New York against the Yankees. McGwire had just flown all the way from New York to Oakland yesterday to find out that he was traded to the Cardinals and had to turn around today and fly back to Philadelphia. So he's had 6 hours of time changes in the last 24. I'm not sure Mark knows exactly what time is on. He's reset his watch about 15 times in the last couple days.
Ron Gant, 14 home runs, 50 RBIs, will now have the luxury of batting behind McGwire. Outside corner, 1-0-2. Dan among the National League strikeout leaders as a hitter with 113. Garret tries to bust inside with the fastball. 1-2. just to our right. You know, Teak, so much about when a hitter has a new player behind him. Oh, I have new protection, etc. Does it affect Gant? You know, they're going to walk McGwire to get to Gant, that kind of situation?
Well, I think it will happen. I don't think there's any doubt about it, especially with the fact that Gant currently hitting at 229. If you're in a crunch situation, even though Gant's got a lot of power, McGwire a much better average hitter along with the power, you're probably going to take your chance. And, you know, you might be a lot of situations where McGwire's going to get an intentional walk and Gant's going to have to try to produce runs for the Cardinals. At least if I was managing and I had to make that choice, that's the one I would make. In fact, if I was pitching and I had to make that choice, that's the one I would make.
Please. 2-2 to Gant. Change. He double clutches and pulls it foul, as Garret seems to have the good changeup at work tonight.
Both the changeup and the curveball he's thrown for strikes early on in this ball game, which of course will just do nothing but make that fastball more effective, and his ability so far to locate it in and out has also been very good. So good combination early on for Garret Stephenson.
Gant with the open stance, the bat held high, awaits a 2-2 from Garret. Full count. Kind of a tale of two lineups for St. Louis, with all the speed and the horses at the top in front of McGwire, and then they get very slow very quickly once they get beyond Gant. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Garret Stephenson throws a 3-2 changeup for his third strikeout and third straight.
Third in a row, and Stephenson perfect location with his changeup. Gant, you want to keep the ball away from him, you want to keep it down, and if you change speeds, that's even a bonus on top of it. Gant way out in front of that pitch, couldn't even reach out far enough to make contact. Number 114 on the year for Ron Gant. He's chasing Henry Rodriguez for the league lead.
Feast or famine. Curveball outside corner. It seems like the quote synergy between Parent and Stephenson continues, as Mark is back there again setting up away just off the plate.
Well, the synergy is always real good, Larry, if you're throwing all three pitches over for strikes and you're throwing them where you want to. Makes it a lot easier to happen.
High fastball is hit high to short right field, where May awaits, and real good location out number 2. Garret Stephenson came up in May, and in the month of May won 2 of his 3 decisions, then had that little bit of a bobble in the knee where he was disabled in June, wound up losing 3 consecutive starts, including his worst start at 2 2/3 outing against Atlanta, before righting the ship over the last couple of weeks and winning at Atlanta and against Pittsburgh. In fact, had a complete game at Atlanta, the only complete game by someone not named Curt Schilling for the Phillies since a guy named Terry Mulholland had one last July. Well, that was a masterpiece. I guess it not wasted, but you would have loved to have seen Schill been able to get that victory last night. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch.
It may not have been a wasted effort, but it sure was a shame that Curt Schilling came away from that game with a no decision. He was absolutely dominant last night. You see the 3 base on balls all coming in the 8th inning when he loaded the bases with 2 outs, and then came up with strikeout number 10 of the ball game to get himself out of that jam. Unfortunately, the Cardinals got a run on a couple opposite field doubles in the 9th, but Curt Schilling was as good as Curt Schilling could be last night.
2-2 pitch, change up, frozen. Strikeout number 4 for Garret Stephenson, who was on the mark in the early going tonight.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone.
He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2, swing and a miss.
Ground ball, great play. Stocker, can he get him? He got him.
He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phil's win.
Hit to deep right field. It's gone.
Why does Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile have the most advanced digital network on the East Coast? So your cell phone will work here.
It works way out here and here. In fact,
to ensure that you'll have enhanced voice clarity and privacy. We built a digital network of monumental proportions. After all, a cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
Don't expect too much from yourself, Michael.
Start on varsity.
You can't play at the level of North Carolina. Be realistic.
Forget the team. Think of yourself. Why go back to basketball? You'll embarrass yourself.
Had enough?
Just getting started.
The calendar page has turned. It is now August, and the Phils having completed their most successful month in July by winning the last 3. And clearly, Teague, the offense is what's come around for them.
Yeah, that was a difference, obviously, in the month of July for the Phillies. They started scoring some more runs, gave themselves a chance to win a few more ball games. You see Mike Lieberthal and Scott Rolen, a big part of that offensive surge. And again, we talked about this being a development year for Terry Francona and the Phillies. Well, the young players starting to develop and, having good months in July was the reason why. Mike Lieberthal and Scott Rolen, why they did so well.
Rigo Brogna leading off bottom 2. Slaps it foul. In fact, Mike Lieberthal led all National League hitters in the month of July with that .400 batting average. Scotty Rolen with the 22 walks led the league and had an on-base percentage 1-2 with Bonds in the last month. And since the All-Star break, the Phils just 2 games under .500. Curveball, half speed into Shields. Shows his point guard leaping ability. That's that skill that had Rolly Massimino drooling 10 years or so ago, getting up for this.
The Shields, the biggest problem on this play was staying on the ground long enough before he went up. You see him kind of hesitating and then going straight up to make the catch. Didn't have to go all that high to make it, but he had to make sure that he didn't go up and be on the way down when the ball got there.
Derek May the other way, carrying well. Rim of the track, middle of the track, Gant pulls it down. A terrific t-shirt featuring several of the superstars of Major League Baseball in a colorful design, free for fans 14 and under, compliments of Pico Energy. It's a great gift item for kids. Sunday, August the 3rd, a 1:35 game against the St. Louis Cardinals. 463-1000 for ticket information and inquire about daily specials. Mark Parent steps in, making start number 29. Which I guess is pretty much right on schedule for the veteran backup. Teak, you'd expect your backup catcher to start how many games comfortably?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on your starting catcher and the situation on your ball club. When Darren Dalton was a starting catcher on an everyday basis, it was basically Sundays. You catch every Sunday, day game after night game. Now, a little different situation with Lieberthal and the fact that the Phillies have so many young pitchers. Mark Parent, more of a veteran, kind of trying to bring some of the young guys along, so he's getting a little more playing time than your normal backup would get. So there really isn't a formula. It depends on the 2 individuals in the catching platoon and your own individual ball club and how the pieces fit together.
Well, some of these young pitchers are beginning to swear by Mark. They call him Bernie in the clubhouse. Swing and a miss. And he's got a certain way about himself that is very endearing to the young pitchers. Constructive yet critical at the same time. Not always easy to tell a pitcher what he's doing wrong, is it, Mr. Ticone?
Well, a lot of times they don't want to listen. That's the biggest problem.
He walked him. And Bennis is not pleased. His 41st walk in 124 innings. We'll bring up Kevin Sefcik. This is a regularly scheduled night off for Stocker. Sefcik knew last night he'd be starting tonight, although Stocker is 1 for 24 lifetime against Bennis, so he probably was pleased with the news. Stock has had an awesome second half so far.
on the bench, at least to begin tonight.
And if you have to have a night off, obviously, you look at those numbers against Andy Bennis is a good time to take.
And if you're a spot player and you get your start, it's against Bennis, you're like, oh, well.
Hey, just glad to play. Jerry puts my name on the lineup card. I'm glad to be in there. Same situation with Parent catching tonight. Mike Lieberthal, even though he had a little bit of a hip problem last night, was not going to play this evening anyway. So, you know, whether Lieberthal's injury from last night's game is something that's going to carry over won't be known until tomorrow, really. If Mike's back in the lineup tomorrow, then everything's normal. If he's not in the lineup tomorrow, then you start thinking, well, maybe there is a problem with that hip.
Caught a little twinge on the base paths. It's 1-2 on Stephenson. Got him looking. As Bennis inside corner at the knees for his first strikeout. We're scoreless.
Budweiser withstood the test of time. It has over 120-year heritage. That heritage is there for one simple reason: because of the people behind the brand Budweiser, and most importantly, because quality was never compromised. Beer is like a food, and just like any natural food with no additives and preservatives, fresh food does indeed taste better. A beer is the best it will ever be when it leaves the brewery. You can look exactly at how fresh Budweiser is through our born-on dating system. It tells you when that product was made and how fresh that product is in the marketplace. There's a lot of pride and tradition in the beer business, and that's what we're about. We're about people, about families, and about selling the highest quality beer products in the world.
So, you want to see my Discover card statement?
I am very, very prissy.
Put up or shut up!
I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Superstars t-shirt featuring some of your favorite Major League Baseball superstars, courtesy of Pico Energy, when the Phillies play the Cardinals Sunday, August 3rd at 1:35. Good seat locations start at just $5. Call 463-1000.
Hot fun in the summertime. Business person special number 4, Thursday, August the 7th, 1 o'clock game against the first place Astros from Houston. Midday baseball, compliments of Mellon PSFS. It's a $1 dog day. Hot dogs just $1. Make your plans to come out and join us at 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS Broad and Chestnut Streets. Garret Stephenson starts the 3rd inning against John Mabry. Each club with 1 extra base hit. Each club stranded a runner at 3rd. Stevenson's got a good curveball. Check swing. On the up and in heat, it's 0-2. Mabry, a unique 8-hole hitter at the moment.
Well, Mabry playing center field tonight because of the injury to Ray Langford last night. Langford, normally the center fielder for the Cardinals, bats in number 3 spot, but Tony La Russa had to shift his lineup around a little bit without Langford in there. Mabry ends up in center field hitting 8th.
To center field, Otero broke in, but still has plenty of time for the routine fly. 1 out. There's Langford and his statistics. Pulled a hamstring on a seemingly innocuous trip down the first base line.
Yeah, a little broken bat single in the center field. Was just kind of casually going down to first base right before he got to the bag. The hamstring grabbed on him. Those are one of those injuries you just, they say day to day, but you just don't know how many days it's going to be before the hamstring is good enough to play on again.
To right center field for Bennis. Long run. Otero dives. Can't come up with it. May will back him up, but Bennis will roll in with a stand-up double. Smoke to the gap in right center field. No embarrassment. This guy's a hitter.
Yeah, this guy's a good-sized player too. It's 6'6", 245 pounds. He gets a hold of it, he can hit it a long way. Ricky Otero making the dive, but he was about 3 or 4 feet short. He was nowhere close to this ball. Derek May on the way over to shake it down, and by the time he does, Bennis very easily into second base. number 2 on the season for Andy Bennis.
DeShields opened the game with a triple, then spent the rest of the top of the first planted at third base. Phillies played DeShields slightly to pull in the dirt.
That's a major change in the outfield as you see Otero on the right field side of second base. Last night, with Curt Schilling on the mound, Otero was playing that far over on the left field side. So they've changed the defense alignment in the outfield considerably tonight with Stephenson on the mound as compared to Curt Schilling. Of course, the defensive alignments are all dictated by John Vukovich, who also serves as the Phillies' third base coach. Keeps those defensive charts and positions the outfielders and infielders accordingly.
To left field and deep. Jeffries has Bennis tug up. Midway up the track, he's going to try for third and stop and go back. He was almost halfway there. Out number 2.
Jeffries back in the middle of the warning track as he makes the catch, gets himself in good position where he can get behind that ball and make a good strong throw to third base. Bennis thought about it for a second, but wisely went back to the bag.
Never make the third out at third base.
I was kind of surprised he went as far as he did.
He took me by surprise. Here's Clayton. Popped out foul to Bronya in inning number 1. High hopper Sefcik's going to have to hurry with Clayton's speed. Got him by a step. So the Cardinals held to a 1-out double. We're still scoreless.
With my old health plan, I needed a referral to see my gynecologist. Now look, I'm a big girl, but the whole ordeal was kind of uncomfortable. But that was then. We switched to Keystone, you know, back by the Blues. They don't make me get permission to see my gynecologist. They understand that I can handle it myself whenever I choose.
Direct Access, another innovation from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
Keystone understands women.
If you've been waiting to buy a new minivan, the Dodge Big Summer Clearance plays right into your hands. You see, it's even bigger than you might think. With up to $1,000 cash back on Caravan, or pay this low price for our 7-passenger Caravan, making it the lowest priced minivan in the industry. So hurry to the Dodge Big Summer Clearance, because if you haven't figured it out already, it's big. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
You willing to die for stupidity, Cesar? See, I am, if it'll teach you something.
187, a new code of conduct.
That's the police code for homicide.
187, when your number's up.
What you gonna do, huh? What you gonna do?
You fight for all you're worth.
Not man enough to play your own game, Cesar.
Samuel L. Jackson, 187, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
A very special tribute commemorating the life and times of Jackie Robinson. Share in the moment at the Robinson Tribute Night, Saturday, August 23rd at 7 o'clock against the Dodgers. All fans will receive a beautiful print to remember the date, plus enjoy a moving pre-game tribute. Make plans to come out for something special. Order tickets easily by phone, 463-1000, or stop by the Veterans Stadium ticket office as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson knocking down the color barrier in Major League Baseball. And his Dodgers might get here in first place. They're the hottest team in the National League. Bottom 3. Garret Stephenson facing Andy Bennis. Takes strike 1. Stephenson has 2 hits, a 125 batting average. Called a strike 2. Frank Pulley gives that outside corner on both clubs. He's out there again. Fouled off. He's consistent, Frank Pulley. He was the umpire behind home plate the night Garrett debuted as a Philly and struck out 12 Cardinals. It's one of the best games of the year. Remember, the Phils are down 2-1 late. They take Stephenson out and get a pair of runs bottom 8 to make it a no decision and come away with a 3-2 win.
Yeah, it's very seldom will you have the kind of matchup that we've got tonight. The same two pitchers and the same umpire behind the plate that was there when Garret made his major league debut. Deja vu all over again. Hope it works out the same for the Phillies tonight.
Up the middle, off Bennis. DeShields has time. 1 out. Bennis seems fine as he took this one, a bit of a glancing blow.
Yeah, even though he wasn't able to catch the ball cleanly, he was able to slow it down and deflect it over to the right side where Delino DeShields could make the play. Had Bennis not got his glove on the ball, that might have been ticketed for center field as DeShields was shaded over toward the first base hole. Would have had a tough time getting there.
Bring up Ricky Otero, who struck out looking on a pitch on the inside corner to start the Phillies' offensive evening. Ricky's been making better contact. Thinks about it. Otero has raised his average from 128 to 260 in the month of July. And is hitting .357 since the All-Star break. 3-0. He's a base runner with 1 out. Second walk issued by Bennis.
Larry, the Cardinals had to make a couple roster moves today. Obviously, Mark McGwire joining their ball club. He took the spot of T.J. Matthews, who was traded to the Oakland A's. Also another move, Andy Bennis' brother Alan was placed on the disabled list today. And the Cardinals activated or brought up a pitcher for their bullpen. Curtis King, a Morristown native, has joined the St. Louis Cardinals. He will take Alan Bennis' spot on the Cardinal roster.
Ripped by Morandini to right field. Could be his second double of the night. Otero's going to round third and they'll hold him there. Morandini with double number 2 tonight. Number 34 on the season. And the Phillies have second and third with 1 out here in the third.
Mickey able to get out in front of this pitch by Bennis. The breaking ball down and on the inside part of the plate. Right over the head of Mark McGwire in the right field. And only a good play by Phil Plantier here as he goes to the corner and gets to the carom quickly. Keeps Otero from scoring. Ricky off and running with 2 strikes or 2 outs. He's running on contact going all the way. He's thinking about scoring right here, but Plantier able to play that carom and get the ball back into the infield. Forced John Vukovic to hold Otero at third.
See, the infield is back. Greg Jeffries in an RBI spot takes strike 1. Plantier in the corner had his glove down and the carom came high, waist high, and he caught it with the bare hand. Was in an even better position to save the run. Outfield playing Jeffries relatively shallow to the opposite field with a ton of room in right center.
And again, the middle of the infield back. Ground ball anywhere in the middle except Bennis will score a run.
Inside, 1-1.
There you see the Cardinal defense with Clayton and DeShields both playing back in the middle of the infield.
Look at that gap. Line drive over DeShields is 3 bases. Off speed pitch, Jeffries out front.
Jeffries sitting on fastball all the way as he gets the off speed pitch from Bennis. Not only out in front but over the top of that pitch. Wasn't even close.
Now moves into make contact mode. He's the second toughest player in the National League to strike out. Up the middle. That'll get the run home. RBI number 38 for Jeffries. And he does his job with 2 strikes. Phil's lead at 1-0.
So Greg Jeffries takes what the Cardinals give him. Infield back, able to get the ball on the ground, past the pitcher up the middle. Clayton makes the play easily at shortstop, but the Phillies get the first run of the night. Ricky Otero sees that ball bound by Bennis. He's able to score easily as he trots in from third base. So Good hitting by Greg Jeffries to get the Phillies on the board.
Morandini at third, following his 34th double, which ties his career high. Mickey on track for 50 doubles. And it would be the first time since Chuck Klein back in the 30s that the Phillies have had a 50 double season. Inside corner to Rolen. 1-1. Tremendous year for Morandini.
A tremendous year if you just look at the numbers. Then if you think back to the month of April and how much he struggled then, to be able to be at the point that he's at by now, by the 1st of August, even more emphatic about how well Morandini has played from May 1st on.
He was quite relieved late last night when we walked out of the ballpark just before the trading deadline with his newborn child and his toddler and his wife, and the idea of getting on a plane and doing what McGwire did not sound very intriguing. Strike call. Inside corner.
Venice working the inside part of the plate to Rolen right here. Fastball probably just a little bit off. As you mentioned, Frank Pulley's strike zone is consistent.
It came a little further in, a little further down. It's a full count. Scotty Rolen, the club leader in RBIs with 62. In the dirt. Here comes Morandini. He'll score standing. Rolen will round first and think about it. He'll draw the throw back. Call that ball 4, wild pitch. 2-0 Philadelphia. And this is a 55-footer.
Yeah, this ball well out in front of home plate as it goes off DeFelice's shoulder.
But Terry Francona's out asking for some form of explanation.
Well, what he's talking about is DeFelice, as he went to go pick up the baseball over by the Cardinals dugout, actually slid down into the St. Louis dugout. Terry's wondering if, indeed, because he did go into the dugout, if Scott Rolen should be awarded second base. Frank Pulley giving him the explanation why he did not allow. Now, the ball does not go into the dugout. Only DeFelice's feet go in. Take a look here as DeFelice slides to get the ball. The ball's outside the dugout, but DeFelice is in the dugout. It's quite all right. As long as the ball does not go in the dugout, it's still in play. It doesn't matter where the player is. If the ball would hop up over that ledge and go into the dugout, then indeed Rolen would get second base. It's location of the ball, not the player.
So Rolen at first with 2 outs for Rico Brogna. Venice looks him back. You saw a couple of hands reach up to try to make sure DeFelice was okay, but no teammate touched him in the dugout. And Scotty Rolen was digging all the way, so DeFelice had a hustle. Brogna hit a soft line drive to Delino DeShields in his first at-bat. Out at the plate. Rico, a .333 lifetime hitter against St. Louis with 5 career home runs. .292 lifetime against Venice. See, that pitch faded. Had kind of screwball action. That's some kind of cutter he throws.
It almost looked like a turnover changeup that Venice threw. You don't see too many changeups from him. Fanatic tried to make the play over on top of the Cardinal dugout, came up empty, but you can't make the play and be on the phone at the same time. You just can't do that. Fanatic, you got to pay attention to the game. Can't be making phone calls in the middle of the action.
1-2.
Sometimes a Fanatic gets a little distracted during the ball game with all the fans harassing him over there on top of the dugout.
Inside off the plate. Backs Brogna away. It's 2-2. Quick move. Rolen back. Bennis, for a big pitcher, not that easy to steal off. As DeFelice looks in the dugout for the sign. Up the middle, but well shaded as Clayton. He'll take it on his own. Score that 6 unassisted, but Otero and Morandini both cross home plate, and the Phillies have the early lead.
Neither rain nor mud, nor ruts and ridges, nor rocks and rivers, nor sleet nor snow shall keep a new Toyota 4Runner from keeping you from your appointed rounds. Power you need, and all the room and comfort you want. And with a starting price around $20,000, it could take your dollar even further.
Every day there are more and more demands on your time. So you should demand more from your bank. Like the ease of banking by phone. Banking from just about anywhere by PC. Or anytime by ATM. And the convenience of full-service banking 7 days a week at all of our supermarket locations. To find out more, stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
The Phillies pay tribute to Jackie Robinson, and you'll receive a keepsake commemorative poster Saturday, August 23rd, before the Phillies play the Dodgers at 7:05. Great seat locations start at just $5. Call 463-1000.
Time now for our Discover Card Payback Playback. 1 year ago tonight, Ozzie Smith honored in his final appearance in Philadelphia. Wound up being a doubleheader, and the first night of the career of Scott Rolen. This, the first major league hit for Scotty, an opposite field double. A baseball that got sent back out to Jasper, Indiana for the family mantelpiece. It came 1 year ago tonight. Scotty can say that he did indeed play on the same field with the great Ozzie Smith, if only for that one evening.
One great career ended and possibly one great one started, all in the same night.
Heart of the lineup in the fourth for St. Louis: Plantier, McGwire, and Gant. Garret Stephenson obviously there with a couple of runs to work with. Has yielded 2 hits. Plantier out of that crouch. No balls and 2 strikes. Plantier has had limited play in '97, hitting at .297 since coming over to St. Louis in only 46 total at-bats.
I don't know if we saw it or not, but Mark Parent that time, when he blocked that breaking ball in the dirt, actually caught it between his mask and his chest protector up against his throat. He had the ball wedged in there, stood up, and then just kind of very gently picked it out like he was removing his Adam's apple. Handed it to Frank Pulley to take a look at it.
He's a non-flap wearer. Change got him. Garret Stephenson changing speeds. And here's Mark McGwire.
Now let's take a look at our Nissan scouting report for this evening on Mark McGwire. This guy is pure power. This year hitting a home run almost a little less than every 11 at bats. Doesn't swing at a whole lot of bad pitches. Gets his walks. He will strike out a lot, as we saw the first time up. And got that big uppercut swing. If you can get McGwire to hit a ground ball, you have done something. Last year in the American League had the lowest ratio of ground ball outs compared to fly ball outs. So not a guy you're going to get a lot of double plays on.
Ground ball, second base. So McGwire's been handled twice. A weak tapper the other way. You don't see that often at all out of McGwire. Here's the swing.
Well, Stephenson had thrown a lot of pitches inside the McGwire the last time, worked him almost consistently in there until he struck him out with the curveball. This time gets the fastball down and away in a good location. And McGwire has to go out and try to reach out and get it after he's conscious of the inside, grounds out weakly to second. Good pitching by Stephenson.
Ron Gano for 1. Good pitch. Because McGwire might be a bit winded.
Weary is the word.
In the lineup tonight. Curve 0-2. By baseball law, he could have waited till tomorrow. Officially would have had 48 hours to report, but hopped on the plane coast to coast, got in at the airport about 5:30. And if he doesn't quite have his feet on the ground, if you will, it's relatively understandable.
Yeah, well, that's not Mark McGwire's MO to be late. It's to be early is his normal way he goes about things.
Curveball outside corner, struck him out. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Garret Stephenson's got it going on. Strikeout number 6 to close the 4th.
Mania. Excessive or unreasonable enthusiasm. Movie mania. An exciting, mind-numbing abundance of sensational stars. Blockbuster hits. And out-and-out great movies on Prism. Summer Movie Mania begins this May only on Prism. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
For information about how you can help stop domestic violence, call us.
Go, Rico, go!
Come on, Rico, win! Win, Rico, win! Faster, faster.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Chevrolet Geo dealers, your Quality Plus Ford dealers, and the all-new Ford Explorer. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
With Kent Colby, I'm Larry Rosen. We head bottom 4. Derek May leads off against Andy Bennis. Phils with a 2-spot bottom 3 to take the lead. Each club with a pair of hits. May 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. It's an important stretch, obviously, in the career of Derek May, getting an opportunity to play on a regular basis for the first time this season in right field since the trade of Darren Dalton. Swing and a miss. May has had 141 at-bats on the season. Tonight making his 26th start in right field. Just got in on his hands a little bit, and Shields will be there for the first out. Sunday, August 24th, the Dodgers are here for a brand new item. Jumbo Gym Bag, extra large for extra stuff, blue with double handles and free for all fans 14 and under, compliments of Amtrak. Great gift item, great baseball with the Dodgers. Make plans to bring the family out Sunday, August 24th. Call 463-1000 or stop by the Veterans Stadium ticket office. Mark Parent stands in. Worked a walk with 2 outs in the second. One and one. Foul at the plate on the let up. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. It does always seem like Mark gets the starts against the toughest right-hand pitchers in baseball. I know it only seems that way, but your first start in a couple of weeks is against Andy Bennis. Fouls that to the upper deck. The strikeout number 3 for Bennis on the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, Bennis
Unhittable.
was trying to get Parent the first time on the breaking ball when he walked him. This time able to get one down on the outside part of the plate, a little bit below the strike zone, but Parent swings over the top of it. That's where most National League pitchers try to pitch Parent, breaking balls away.
Kevin Sefcik has a ground ball base hit. And he'll bring his pitcher Garret Stephenson to the plate with 2 outs.
Good job by Kevin Sefcik of getting on the base and getting Stephenson to the plate. Toughest part of hitting number 8 is hitting with 2 outs and the pitcher on deck. Got a little bit of a breaking ball that stayed on the inside half for him, able to get it by Gaetti into left field. So Sefcik does his job with 2 outs, getting Stephenson to the plate. Worst case scenario now, at least, even if Stephenson goes out, the Phillies have turned the order over and will start next inning at the top. Best case scenario, Stephenson gets a base hit. Otero gets a chance to drive in a run.
One and one.
Stephenson swung like he wanted to drive in a couple of runs. Big swing by Garret.
With that left foot a little bit in the bucket. High hopper Gaetti waits for it. Out number 3. So we're through 4 full at Veterans Stadium, and the Phils lead 2-0.
Small cars used to drive like this. Then a big change came along. The all-new 97 Ford Escort. It's got a bigger engine with more horsepower than Civic. A sport suspension you can't get on Cavalier. Plus, big car room and a 4-speed automatic Neon doesn't even offer. Now get Escort with $1,000 cash back or 2.9 financing. That's $1,000 cash back or finance for 2.9% for 48 months. And own what's new. Ford Escort, only from your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
With my old health plan, I needed a referral to see my gynecologist. Now look, I'm a big girl, but the whole ordeal was kind of uncomfortable. But that was then. We switched to Keystone, you know, back by the Blues. They don't make me get permission to see my gynecologist. They understand that I can handle it myself whenever I choose.
Direct Access, another innovation from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
Keystone understands women.
Well, you talk to baseball people, Teak, and they'll say the Cardinals are somewhat of an underachieving club to date, 5 games under 500. And over the last 3 weeks or so, it became clear they needed some more pop. They've lost 5.5 games to first place. It was Pittsburgh back at the 86-game mark. They've 20 points under, and home run numbers 8th in the league. So we're calling that McGwire required.
Well, yeah. You know, Mark McGwire is a perfect fit for the St. Louis Cardinals for the final 2 months of the '97 season because he gives them exactly what they need, offense and run production. Tony La Russa's ball club has pitched well all year long. They have just not been able to score enough runs, and that's the main reason why they are 5 games under 500. But in the National League Central, 5 games under 500 isn't that far away. So La Russa hopes that, you know, the addition of McGwire and the fact that he may spark some of the other guys to start swinging the bat a little better is going to be the catalyst that they need to jump themselves back into that Central Division race.
Well, they have faded of late as Houston's been on a tear. Finally 10 games over with a record that looks like a first-place club after struggling around the 500 plateau.
Yeah, there was such a long time that the National League Central 500 was putting you in first place. Of course, now the Astros are on that hot streak and have, you know, gone 10 games over 500 and put a little distance between themselves and the Pirates, the Cardinals, Reds, and the Cubs. Maybe just a little too far back.
Cubs have lost 8 straight. Made it 9 today when they lost to Los Angeles. Well, here's the other member of the running Redbirds with over 300 career home runs. 38-year-old Gary Gaetti just keeps plugging along. He's got 327 lifetime home runs. Swing and a miss. This guy now has 1,202 career RBIs. His career dates back to 1981, and there's only been 200 RBI seasons. But he has been a consistent performer.
Yeah, and we haven't heard a whole lot about Gaetti because of the fact that he spent so much of his time in the American League. National League fans not that familiar with him until he came to the Cardinals last year. But as you say, he has been a consistent performer over the course of his career.
Stephenson busts him up and in 0-2. Half swing the other way. Gaetti got called out on strikes last night by Eric Gray and said about as much as I've ever seen someone say to an umpire on a ball strike call without getting himself tossed. Give a lot of credit to that guy for kind of turning his back, letting a veteran have his say and stepping off it. Because Gaetti gave him a serious lipful. I was down on the field and heard it. Up the mid on Morandini. The backhand stab cannot come up with it. So the first single of the evening for St. Louis. Their third hit overall.
Gaetti just kind of catches his ball out on the end of his bat, but gets it just enough high enough to get it over Stephenson's head and just enough on it to get it past Morandini into center field. That is defined as a seeing eye base hit. Saw its way just over Stephenson's head and just by Morandini. Veteran players will tell you they look like line drives tomorrow.
Upper Darby's own Mike DeFelice. Gaetti goes on the hit and run. Parents got him drilled. Out number one as DeFelice swings through. And Gaetti an easy mark for Parent at second.
Gaetti not with a whole lot of speed, so the hit and run is on, trying to just get him in movement for DeFelice to make contact. But if you don't make contact, Gaetti is going to be dead at second unless you throw the ball into center field. Parent doesn't. Gaetti's out.
Mark Parent now has thrown out 13 of 36 runners. None easier than that. His percentage around 36. It's 1-1 on DeFelice. Swings through the high fastball. Garret Stephenson seeming in command with poise and control tonight. Off speed pitch right at Morandini, out number two. This four-game series with St. Louis will continue tomorrow afternoon and again Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow, run the bases after the ball game. Sunday, Pico Energy MLB Superstars t-shirt. Then the Rockies come in for Monday and Tuesday. The Astros on Fan Zone Day on the 6th. And on Thursday, Business Person Special Dollar Dog Day on August the 7th. 463-1000 for ticket information. Strike one to John Mabry. Teak, you're bringing a new player like a McGwire. Does everybody in a clubhouse have to say, okay, this is how I'm affected? You know, Mabry might move down. It will affect everybody, won't it? As Mabry rips one to right field. May can't cut it off. Mabry digging for two. Throw just off line. He's got a double. And here's Mabry, a career .290 hitter, batting 8, a 2-out double. He's got the pitcher behind him. You know, it's a different kind of situation.
Well, it does change things around, but I don't think the players consciously think about that, Larry. I think it's just a matter of going out and playing the game. You see right here, Mabry gets that pitch down and in. That's the deadly zone to left-handed hitters. You don't want to throw down and in to left-handers. Mabry drops the head on it and able to hit it into the right field corner. Again, not a whole lot of excessive speed, but when you tuck the ball in the corner that well, you should get yourself a double, and Mabry does.
It's the fourth double in the ball game out of 7 hits. One of them belongs to Andy Bennis, who is now batting with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. In fact, the double by Bennis, the most authoritative of the 4, as he smoked one of the gap in right center field. Derek May in right field cheating up, as is Otero, hoping to have a shot at Mabry on a base hit. 2-0. John Mabry at second base. And Stephenson wants to come in here behind in the count. Bennis shows bunt You assume he was taking all the way, or?
I'd have to think that Bennis was taking all the way right there. Just wanted to give Stephenson a little bit of a different look as he shortens up on the bat. Stephenson, see, he never did put that bat out over the plate and get it into bunting position. So it was just if I'm going to take, maybe I'll give Stephenson a little bit of different look. Maybe it'll distract him a little bit. And if indeed that was the case, it must have worked because Stephenson threw ball 3.
Mabry.
John Mabry out at second base now. 2 outs. 3 ball, no strike count on Bennis. Want to try to come back and get him. He'd rather face Bennis than Delano DeShields.
Bennis disagrees. That was borderline low. It's 3-1. To right field, hugging the line, slicing to the seats. The count will be full. So Stephenson has fought back to at least give himself a chance to get out of the inning against Bennis. It's an interesting pitch choice here, Teak, isn't it? See if he's got the confidence to show him that off-speed pitch, or do you go right at him?
I think you go at him.
Good call, but it's ripped to center field. Otero's got a shot at Mabry. Lines it up. The throw is 2 hops and late. Bennis back to second. Great play, Stephenson, as he digs it out and puts the tag down. Parent's throw was in the dirt. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Andy Bennis, a 2-out clutch single. Otero's throw 2 hops home plate to get the Cardinals their first run.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone.
He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2, swing and a miss.
Ground ball, great play. Stocker, can he get him? He got him.
He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phil's win.
Hit to deep right field. It's gone.
Get ready for the Mania. Movie Mania. Summer Movie Mania begins this May only on Prism. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
The automotive world has got a new point of reference for quality and value. Ford Taurus, America's best-selling car for the 5th straight year. It's got more horsepower than Camry or Accord. 13 standard features you can't even get on Chevy Lumina. And not even Dodge Intrepid has more room. What does it all mean? We'll get right to the point. There's more to afford. Get low 4.8% APR financing for 48 months or $1,500 cash back on Ford Taurus. Only from your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Kent DeColvey, you thought he'd get a 3-2 fastball, and Bennis does.
Yeah, Bennis gets a good fastball. Stephenson put it in a pretty good place. It's down and away, and you want to challenge Bennis in that situation, but he hits a line drive into center field. Otero gets to it on 1 hop, but his throw to the plate, 1, 2 hops a little late, and then Parent alertly going to second base. Gives Stephenson a lot of credit. Picked that low throw out of the dirt, able to make the play at second. Mark Parent knew that he wasn't going to have it to play at the plate, so he stepped forward a step, get the ball just a little bit quicker, allowing him to get Bennis down at second.
Well, that is a run a club hates to give up. The 8-hitter a double, the pitcher an RBI single. So it is a 2-1 ball game.
Now that's the bad news, but the good news is with Parent's play at second base, you kept Bennis out of scoring position with the top of the order coming up, preventing a bigger inning, at least a potentially bigger inning with Delano DeShields in the top of the order starting over.
And the Cardinals did make 2 outs on the base paths despite 3 base hits in the 5th. Top of the order for the Phils. Otero walked and scored the ball game's first run in the 3rd inning. Stands in batting .258. Gaetti way in at 3rd base. Otero shows bunt. McGwire also well in front of the bag. It's 1-1. Obviously, McGwire getting a lot of help on his defensive alignment.
Yeah, well, he's in a pretty good spot. He's facing right into the Cardinal dugout, so I'm sure there's going to be somebody all night long assisting him on his defensive positioning. Of course, McGwire has never played in the National League, not familiar at all with any of the National League players and what their tendencies are.
The other way in the air. Long run for Gant. Coming hard. Great backhand running catch by Ron Gant. Looked like it was still a fair ball. And Gant tracked it down.
Ron Gant doesn't run quite as well as he used to before he broke that leg, but makes a good play here as he goes hard. And yes, indeed, that ball was in fair territory. Gant doesn't get there. The ball kangaroos off the turf, at least a double for Otero. But Ron Gant with that good speed able to get there. There was a day 2 years ago when Ron Gant was a threat to steal 40 or 50 bases. Of course, since that major leg injury that he had in an off-season motorbike accident, he doesn't run as well as he used to, but still moves around pretty well.
That'll bring up doubles Morandini. Mickey with a pair of doubles. And bids for another. It's just wide of first. Mickey a career high 34 doubles and has eaten up Andy Bennis through the course of their parallel careers. Up and in. Mickey doubled inside third the first time, doubled inside first the second time. 2-2. Gretzelanek and Lansing have been 1-2 with Morandini right there. Foul tip held on to by DeFelice. Out number 2.
Bennis gets his 4th strikeout of the evening on Morandini. Again, another one of those off-speed pitches, a changeup. Good job by DeFelice to be able to hold on to that ball as you saw it bounce off the heel and then up into the web. Able to hang on. Can't practice those. Just sometimes you get lucky and they stick. Sometimes you get unlucky and they come out.
Greg Jeffries got the job done in his last at-bat. In the hole 1 and 2, bounced a ground ball to get Otero home. 30 years old today is Greg Jeffries. Fair ball down the right field line. And grabbed by a fan. That'll be a ground rule double for Jeffries. That fan with a glove. And Teague Delino DeShields didn't make a move off second base. That's the angle that it often caroms right back toward the second baseman. Greg could have had 3. Instead, the ground rule double.
Yeah, DeShields does not move at all. Jeffries hooks this ball right over the bag down the first base side. See, Plantier was heading for the corner. Had that ball bounded back into right center field. Jeffries was definitely going to get a double. There's no doubt about that on this play. But had it kangarooed out, he may have had a shot at a triple, although it would have had to been a stand-up triple with 2 outs. He wouldn't have taken a chance. So probably everything worked out the way it should have.
Scott Rolen, the batter. That is the ball game's 5th double. The 19th of the year for Jeffries. We've got 9 hits on the night, 5 doubles. Foul tip. Interesting, though, Teague, if the ball that Jeffries had hit and stuck right down by that Phillies logo, with Plantier deep in the corner and DeShields not moving, you know, there might have been interesting.
Well, that's what it would have had to do something like that to be a stand-up triple, and that's the only way Greg would have taken a chance.
I'm talking about circling. I mean, there was nobody anywhere near that baseball.
I don't think he's going to circle. That's a long route. And that ball's usually not going to stick in that area anyway. It's not a padded area. That's just like a tarp that hangs over the facing of the lower grandstand. So the ball usually kangaroos off there.
Scotty, in these kind of situations, has been highly productive lately. He's got a runner at second with 2 out now. Nobody near Jeffries, but Bennis takes the peak. 1-2 coming from Bennis, who stretches and fires. Grounded to Clayton. Jeffries tries to get in the way, to no avail for out number 3. So the Phils held off the board in the 5th, still lead by 1 run.
Good old summertime. There's so many things to do. You know what's the most fun? The Chevy Big Value Big Savings event. Find great offers on a whole bunch of Chevy cars and trucks, like 2.9 APR financing on Chevy Venture. Venture has the most standard horsepower Vinny front-wheel drive minivan in its class. Let's go. It just doesn't get any better than this, America. There'll never be a better time to get a 97 Chevy than during the Chevy Big Value Big Savings event.
Right now, get 2.9% financing on Venture at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
I want boom, dot, boom, boom. Why do you want to look at my Discover card statement? It's mine. I live in New York City. Of course, I love the theater. Bring in the noise. You know, it's my favorite show. I go there as often as I can, trying to steal another step. And my kids want me to be more risky. Come to Garçon stuff is, you know, it's risky. I want a cashback bonus.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Wow. Back to first. Wow. Double play. Diving grab, throw to first, double play.
The National League strikeout leader Curt Schilling's next start will come your way on Sports Channel Tuesday evening against the Colorado Rockies. Change the music. Thank you. Our next Prism telecast comes up Monday night against those same Colorado Rockies. It'll be Tyler Green looking for back-to-back victories. Game time at 7:30 with Kent DeColby and Chris Wheeler. I'll have your first pitch pregame report at 7 o'clock as the Rockies come to town Monday night. Our ball game moving briskly to the top of the 6th. Pitchers holding 4-2-1. Top of the lineup for the Cardinals. Delino DeShields shows the bunt. DeShields had a ground ball opposite field triple to start the ball game. Brogna on the dive, can't quite get to it. So DeShields, who has 37 stolen bases, is a leadoff base runner.
Delino DeShields, who normally does not hit a whole lot of balls to the right side, has hit a ton of them over there this series. Went down the line against Brogna in the first inning for a triple. Now goes through the hole on the other side for a leadoff single here in the top of the 6th.
And the man that leads all National Leaguers in grounding into double plays, Royce Clayton, stands in. Has grounded into 16 twin killings. You generally expect that that's going to be kind of slow-footed guys on the top of that list, and obviously guys that hit a lot of hard ground balls. But 1 and 2 are Clayton and Eric Young. Shows bunt, takes all the way. DeShields has been caught stealing 9 times. That's among the league leaders.
That was Rene Latchman, the former Florida Marlin manager, now the third base coach for Tony La Russa, flashing the signs.
One and 0 to Clayton. Ripped to left for a base hit. So 2 on, nobody out for Plantier, as it looked like that pitch was a bit up in the strike zone where Clayton could see it.
Yeah, it was more than a bit up. It was up around the letters of Royce Clayton. Up and on the inside part of the plate. Clayton spins on it and lines it into left field. So the Cardinals, with a couple runners on, the speed at the top is on, and now all of a sudden you're getting to that danger zone again. The middle of the Cardinal lineup that has been shored up by the man on deck, Mark McGwire. First, you got to deal with Phil Plantier.
Plantier has struck out swinging twice. Check swing. They will ask Eric Gregg, who will say it's ball 1. Plantier had his career year for the Padres in 1993, 34 home runs, 100 runs batted in, and has had some health issues in recent years, but certainly looked like a young stud left-handed power hitter 4 years ago. Triple play material right here. Garrett wheels, but Sepsig's not there. Wayne Gomes, who had a terrific West Coast swing for Philadelphia, getting the early look, top of the 6th. Swing and a miss by Plantier.
And the reason why Gomes is up right now, Stephenson breezed through the first 4 innings of this ball game, just 2 base hit by the Cardinals. But now the last 6 hitters that Stephenson has faced, 5 of them have base hits, and Plantier was looking to make the 6th base hit a long one. So Stephenson in a little bit of a scuffle right now.
Could be 2. Sepsic uses Morandini. Good turn. 6-4-3 double play. As DeShields winds up at third base. Mickey unable to plant and throw, has to come across the bag on this turn.
Yeah, Mickey with a good feed from Sepsic, though he clears himself of the bag on the shortstop side, gets out of the way of the sliding Clayton, allows himself to get a good strong throw over to Brony at first base. Phillies with the pitcher's best friend right there, the double play ball, and all of a sudden a potentially big inning for the Cardinals could possibly be diffused, except the guy with the big fuse is standing at the plate right now, Mark McGwire.
Inside, backs him off. Going to allow Garret Stephenson to go after Mark McGwire. Might this be a tad of a pitch around?
Well, no, it's a pitch around. It's a pitch safely with the open base at first base. You're not going to obviously behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes concede and throw McGwire a fastball right down the middle. That's for sure.
Broken back, ground ball, Rolen. Off balance throw, and Stephenson gets out of the inning. Quality pitches from Garret Stephenson to Plantier and McGwire. Phillies lead by 1.
The most prestigious national authority on evaluating managed health plans has awarded Keystone Health Plan East a full accreditation.
By meeting all of the NCQA's rigorous standards, Keystone is among the top 20% of the nation's HMOs, receiving the highest accreditation possible.
We will continue to work hard to merit this accreditation.
Because we've understood how important quality health care is for you and your family for nearly 60 years.
For unsurpassed quality,
you can lean on us.
If you've been postponing the purchase of a brand new truck, the Dodge Big Summer Clearance plays right into your hands. You see, it's even bigger than you might think. With up to $13.50 off on a Dodge Dakota or up to $11.85 in package value discounts on a Dodge Ram. So hurry to the Dodge Big Summer Clearance, because if you haven't figured it out already, it's big. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Why does Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile have the most advanced digital network on the East Coast? So your cell phone will work here. It works way out here and here. In fact, to ensure that you'll have enhanced voice clarity and privacy, we built a digital network of monumental proportions. After all, a cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
Phillies still ahead 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th because of a good pitch by Garret Stephenson. We talked about 2 balls and no strikes making a pitch. You want to pitch McGwire in the inverted L. Inside and up. You don't want to give him anything down over the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Perfect pitch by Stephenson. Right on the hands. Ties McGwire up. Breaks his bat as he gets the key out. Grounder to third base. Mark McGwire 0 for 3 this evening, and Garret Stephenson has pitched him very well.
Location, location, location. Rico Brony leads off home 6th. He's nothing for 2 thus far. Sometimes, Teague, you know this better than I, a starting pitcher's night might come down to 1 or 2 pitches. You either make them or you don't.
Yeah, there's always a couple key pitches in the ball game, a couple key hitters that you have to get out. Obviously, that's a very important situation right there for Garret Stephenson. He was able to get McGwire on a good pitch when he was behind in the count.
Stephenson threw 6 has yielded a run on 7 hits. And Bronya, a 4-pitch walk to start the home 6th.
If you like that walk that Rico Bronya just got, tomorrow you can talk to Rico online. Rico will be in the Phillies chat room on the website Phillies.com to chat with fans beginning at 4:30. Of course, unless the game runs a little longer than it should, he's going to be there for 1 hour. So log on to the internet and chat with Rico Bronya, the Phillies first baseman. Phillies.com.
www.
That'll get you there.
Derek May, nothing for 2. May has a huge hole right side as the shield shades him up the middle, and McGwire is holding Bronya at first base. Derek, with that wide open stance, likes to find a pitch down and in. The target's away, and so's the pitch. Derek, a classic left-hand hitting down and in fastball hacker. Has huge room in right center field as again they play him the opposite way. Look at that.
You see that large gap in right center field is Plantier playing straight away in right. Center fielder Mabry over toward left center, which would indicate that they're going to try to keep away from Derek May. Stack the defense. A lot of times as a hitter you can look out at the outfield defense in particular and get an idea of how they're going to pitch you. Obviously with a defense like this, they're not going to throw you too many pitches that you can hit into that right center field gap. That's why they're leaving it open.
Inside off the plate. The Cardinal bullpen, little bit of scurrying, but no one thinking about throwing just yet. Venice has thrown 6 balls in 7 pitches in the bottom of the 6th.
I think as we look down there, somebody's just taking a casual little walk around the Phillies bullpen, or excuse me, the Cardinal bullpen. No activity though.
May in an advantageous hitting position, 2-1. The pitch to left center field high, and they had him defense perfectly. Gantz got it out, number 1.
When you play a defense that way, you trust your pitcher to make the pitch that he needs to make. Andy Venice able to do that as he gets the ball away from May and got him to fly out innocently to left field.
Mark Parent is 0 for 1. Cardinals interaction tonight, 7.5 games in back of Houston.
So breaking ball again from Venice on the outside part of the plate. That's what the pitch that he got Parent on the last time when he set him down swinging. He's tried to stay in, tried to get there the first time, but as you mentioned, he did walk him the first time, not able to hit that spot.
Venice paying more attention to Bronya than one might imagine is necessary. Rico taking a short lead at first base. Way up and away. It's 2-0 on Parent. Venice gave up the 2 spot. The second run scoring on a ball 4 wild pitch to Scott Rolen. And thus far, that's the difference in the ball game. Bronya's there with 1 out. 2-1.
I mentioned Venice starting to have a little trouble with his control this inning. It's really slowed the pace. It's working very rapidly early in the ball game, but now they're starting to have a little control trouble. Has really slowed down and takes a lot more time between pitches. Natural tendency for pitchers when they're struggling a little bit.
Bronya goes. The throw is into Bronya. and will go into center field. And Rico's going to wind up at third base. How do you like that? For Brogna, that is stolen base number 4 on the season, and he caught him by surprise, apparently.
DeFelice, a pretty tough pitch to handle down and away, and the ball tails back into Brogna as he slides into second base. DeShields not able to make the catch, and then the ball bounces into center field. Rico able to pop up, sees the ball out there right away, up and on his way to third base. So call out a stolen base, and an error on the catcher DeFelice allows Brogna to go over to third with 1 out. Now in position to score on a fly ball off the bat of Mark Parent as the Cardinal infield comes in.
So Parent draws his second walk of the evening. He had only 5 all year coming in. And a bit of a meeting at the mound to discuss defensive strategy for Kevin Sefcik. Now wheels turning in both dugouts. Sefcik's an outstanding bunter. Wonderful bat control. We could be in squeeze position.
Yeah, the Cardinals defensively looking at Clayton and DeShields not playing double play. They're playing up a little further than double play depth. Not quite all the way in, but definitely farther in than you would normally be if you're looking for a double play ball off the bat of Sefcik.
And as Bennis went to the stretch, Clayton and DeShields began creeping in a little bit further. You see Clayton there almost halfway, but on the stretch he comes up. Swing and a miss. Obviously Sefcik's #1 goal is to get the ball in play.
And he has got a huge hole on the right side of the infield to hit the ball through. DeShields playing up and over toward the bag at second base. Look at all that room between he and McGwire, who's holding Parent at first base. So there is a huge hole if Sefcik can get the ball on the ground to the right side to get it through.
Way outside. Garret Stephenson waits on deck as DeFelice and Bennis will chat.
While they're chatting out on the mound, we'd like to wish a belated happy 50th anniversary to Claude and Mary Fritz of Bowers, PA. Celebrated their 50th anniversary on July 26th. They're a couple of devoted Philly fans. Andy Bennis' pitch count is getting way up there. Mentioned early on he was going pretty good and he was cranking them out pretty quick, but now all of a sudden as he's struggling, he is slowing down and throwing a lot of pitches.
Bennis with that Larry Anderson fake to third, fake to first. Sefcik's the 27th batter faced by Bennis. He has thrown strike 1 on the first pitch to 14. Ball 1 to 12. So he has not been ahead and in command all night long. That is low. And if you were going to play squeeze, 2-1 would probably be the count you'd like to give it a shot.
Yeah, and if you're trying to hit a ball through the right side where that big hole is, a pitch down and away is a pretty good pitch to try to do it on. Sefcik, first 3 pitches from Bennis have all been in that area, both fastballs and breaking balls on the outside part of the plate. So talk about pitching to your defense. Right now Bennis is pitching backward according to how his defense is playing.
Pitch out, as La Russa also knew the 2-1 would be the spot. So it is now 3-1 on Sefcik.
Yeah, so you take a pitcher who's struggling with his control, call the pitch out on 2 balls and 1 strike. You're not right. Now all of a sudden you've got Bennis in a 3-ball 1-strike hole. Even though you got the pitcher on deck, only 1 out in the inning. So the Phillies in pretty good shape here.
Up the middle, Clayton steps and throws the only double play they could have gotten. And they do. So Bennis with a smile on his face for Royce Clayton, still in a 1-run ball game.
Get ready for the Mania. Movie Mania. Summer Movie Mania begins this May only on Prism. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
Every day there are more and more demands on your time. So you should demand more from your bank. Like the ease of banking by phone. Banking from just about anywhere by PC. Or anytime by ATM. and the convenience of full-service banking 7 days a week at all of our supermarket locations. To find out more, stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELON-24. Melon, it's where you're going.
I whack the weeds. So you want to know what's on my Discover Card statement. I'm a camp cook and a bad one, but I've got a good stove. And he loves to chase that. The cashback bonus award. It all folds up into a carry-on. She loves to get flowers, and I love to give them.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Well, the toughest thing about buying a wetsuit is trying them on.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
A pride of the Phillies poster in the final Mellon PSFS Business Person Special when the Phillies play the Padres Wednesday, August 27th at 1:05. Great seat locations start at just $5. Call 463-1000 and ask about the daily special.
Back at Veterans Stadium, we go to the top of the 7th inning. Phillies on top in this ballgame by a score of 2-1. With Mark Parent on the bases, Garret Stephenson on deck. It's going to take them a little longer to get ready as we start the top of the 7th. It gives us time to wish happy 55th wedding anniversary wishes to Alexander and Gertrude Green of South Philadelphia. Also a very happy 75th birthday to Leo Stenson of Glen Olden. And a happy 70th birthday to Jonathan Parnham of Runnymede, New Jersey. So congratulations to all the above, and our best wishes here at Sports Channel go along with those of all your friends who send in the notices to let us know about your special days.
Garret Stephenson in his second career start against St. Louis. They've seen enough of him. 18 strikeouts in 13 innings, has yielded just 3 runs. Tonight he is pitching into the 7th inning for the 9th time in 12 starts. And he has been effective tonight. Ron Gant pulls that pitch to Sepsic. Gotta hurry. Got him. Out number 1. Teak, I think the teammates and the brass are beginning to believe in Garret Stephenson. I mean, he's at least given you quality starts, 9 out of 12, and he's looking to even his record at 5-5.
Yeah, and you're looking, for Stephenson just to establish that consistency. We talked about the month of June and the problems that he had there. He was not effective. He had the knee injury, and it appeared to me, and strictly as an observer, it appeared that he lost his aggressiveness during that period of time. Maybe it was the injury in the back of his head. Maybe it was just the way he was pitching. But when Stephenson is aggressive and trying to make quality pitches instead of trying to prevent mistakes, he has been very effective for the Phillies. And just, that's part of the growing process. Galen Cisco constantly talking to his pitchers about don't pitch to keep away from making a mistake. Pitch to make a good pitch. And Stephenson has been doing that well.
That pitch was up, and Gaetti strokes it to left field. He's a 1-out base runner. Gaetti with his second hit. As Stephenson's changeup was high.
Yeah, Stephenson with a changeup. You try to keep this pitch down. This one just got away from Garrett, and Gaetti able to level off on it. But it's still the idea he was trying to make a good pitch with that pitch, just didn't get it in the right spot. Whether you're a pitcher or a hitter, you should go. Your mindset should always be, I want to create a positive. Don't prevent a negative. Because for some reason, when you try to prevent negatives, you cause them.
Mike DeFelice struck out and lined out to Morandini. DeFelice is the ad hoc #1 catcher for St. Louis, at least in terms of starts. They've been without Tom Pagnazzi, and they carry 3 catchers, but DeFelice has the most starts. Swing and a miss as he came in on him. Down in the Phillies bullpen, Wayne Gomes has sat down now that we've gotten to the 7th. The right-hander is Jerry Spradlin. The lefty is Billy Brewer. So the wheels turning in the Phillies dugout. Garrett is due to lead off the home 7th, and they'd love to get him through this half inning against the bottom of the Cardinal lineup. That is so tantalizing. And you see big leagues hitters frozen on a curveball that the gun had at 68 miles an hour.
There's a real big differential in Garret between the speed of his curveball and his fastball. To mention, when he throws that curveball over, that makes that fastball that's around 89 or 90 look like it's in the mid-90s. It really gets it on top of the hitters. So the pitchers complement each other.
And his changeup is right in between.
Yeah, his changeup is actually harder than his curveball, but softer than his fastball. So you've got 3 different speeds on 3 different pitches.
Set up away and line foul. Good defensive swing by DeFelice. Garret Stephenson has been ahead of the hitters, and his pitch count indicates it. We are almost 3 times through the lineup, and he's thrown just 24 balls, has thrown ball 1 on the first pitch only 8 times tonight, Teague.
Yeah,
you always say most important pitch is strike 1.
He's been out in front, and he's been in command.
In on the hands, long run. Otero's got the best shot. He's there. Out number 2. And again, good location.
Again, after the big looping changeup, then all of a sudden the fastball right on the hands. DeFelice not able to get the bat head around at all as he flares it into short center field. Otero taking charge of the play as he calls the infielders off. Whenever a ball is in between, the outfielder has the first option, and the center fielder has an option over everybody on the field. If he wants to call it and catch it, it's his. Ricky said, I'll take that option. That one's mine.
Yolo Tango. John Mabry, who doubled and scored the Cardinals' only run on a Bennis RBI single in the 5th. Rips that one, foul. As it was hooking on the off-speed pitch. So it's simply strike 1. Gaetti, who was already around second, will take the long walk back. Bennis is in the on-deck circle, and there is no action currently in Tony La Russa's bullpen. So apparently, Andy, if Mabry keeps the inning alive, is going to get a chance to bat.
And why not? He's been the best offensive player they had tonight. Driven in the only run.
Right back at you.
He'll be a leadoff hitter.
But Garret Stephenson has worked his way through 7 strong innings. He's due to lead off in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see how Terry Francona plays it next.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone. He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ground ball. Great play. Stocker. Can he get him? He got him. He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phil's win. Hit to deep right field. It's gone.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me.
I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
The chores.
The stores.
Fresh air.
Times Square.
Get 4A financing on Ford Explorer at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Deep in the forest under railroad trees lives a big blue bear and his family. They laugh all together, they play all together, they sing and dance and stay all together. So if you're ever in the forest under railroad
Midas, Auto Systems experts.
This is Dick Vermeil with an important message. Personal choice, the flexible, high quality and affordable health coverage is available in Pennsylvania. Only from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
So Garret Stephenson will get to continue his night's work as a leadoff hitter. When he came in between innings, he went right past the skipper and right to the bat rack, hoping not to get any news. And he did not.
As well he shouldn't. He's been pitching very well this evening.
Facing Andy Bennis once more, takes ball 1. Stephenson has grounded out twice. Two and 0. Venice has been consistently behind hitters in the 5th and 6th, and is now 2-0 on his pitching counterpart to start the 7th. They have both cranked it up. Garret more hits. Venice 5 walks. And the walks hurt him. Otero walked and scored, and what now stands as the game deciding run was a wild pitch ball 4 that allowed Morandini to score. He got him fishing, out number 1. The final business person special of the year will come up on Wednesday, the 27th of August at 1 o'clock when the Padres are in town. Midweek midday fun at the Vet. All fans receive this year's edition of the Pride of the Phillies poster. Make plans to come out for some afternoon fun. Order tickets by phone at 463-1000. Here's Ricky Otero. Venice has made 2 quality pitches on Otero. It's 0-2. Just off the outside corner, 1-2. To right field, hit well, but Planter's got it lined up. 2 outs. As Otero has hit the ball in the air a couple of times tonight. That'll bring up Mickey Morandini. With the average now at 295. With doubles 33 and 34 tonight. Has taken over the team lead in hits. Foul ball as he bids for a 3rd one. Mickey's kind of decided, forget the rest of the field. If I go this line or that line.
Well, yeah, if you can get the ball down either one of the lines, you got a real good shot at a double. Mark McGwire over at first base has kind of closed that gap down a little bit as Morandini shot one down there.
That's low. You know, Mick is now 2nd to Scott Rolen in total bases. Impressive for a 2-hitter who has only 1 long ball. It's 2-2. Right at the Fanatic. That was radar.
Take a look at the defensive play of the evening right here as Mickey fouls the ball over the Phillies dugout. The Fanatic in perfect position, had him played just right and made the play. I told you, Fanatic, if you're not on the phone and pay attention to the game, you can make those plays.
It's 3-2 now on Morandini.
Those cell phones will get you distracted during the game.
Just missed. Walk number 6 for Venice. And that was a pitch he certainly wanted. And it'll bring up Greg Jeffries. Jeffries has one of the doubles tonight and an RBI ground ball. Strike call.
There you mentioned the base on balls being a big part of this ball game. The Phillies with just 4 base hits in the ball game, but the 6 free passes from Venice has kept them with men on base every inning.
Morandini started and stopped.
In fact, through his first 6 innings of this ball game, the Phillies have stranded 1 runner in each of the first 6 innings.
Morandini leads the club with a dozen stolen bases, but has not run a lot lately. Pitch out, nothing on. It's 2-1.
We spent a lot of time talking about Greg Jefferies and how he does not strike out, but you look at what has happened this year with Greg. He's put the ball in play, but guys that put the ball in play, look at his average has been down this year. Normally Greg up around that 300 level, 300 type hitter over the course of his career. He's been putting the ball in play, but just hasn't been getting the base hits.
And late in ball games, he's been at his best. 2-1. Morandini was leaning, got back. That is down from Mickey's career total as he dives back once more. Jefferies has batted officially 379 times, another move over, and has struck out 19 times. So he's put it in play 357 times. There he goes, ripped, fair ball down the right field line. Morandini was on the go. Boom is going to try to score him. Here comes Morandini for the plate, and he'll score sliding. Clutch 2-out double. Greg Jefferies. Phillies lead 3-1. For Jefferies, double number 20 and RBI number 39. That's a big run.
Hey, look, Jefferies with Morandini on the move, lines the ball right down the right field side. Mentioned earlier, Plantier got a perfect carom earlier in the ballgame, able to hold Ricky Otero at third base. This time he did not get the perfect carom. Morandini with his head down, heading for third base. John Vukovic sending him all the way because Plantier couldn't get the ball back in as quickly as he did the last time. Morandini able to come across with the third run of the ballgame. Big double by Greg Jefferies.
So a 3-1 lead for Garret Stephenson to work with. Scott Rolen's got Jefferies in scoring position with 2 outs. Down the left field line and deep. In play off the wall. Jefferies scores, and Scott Rolen, a ringing stand-up double, fills lead 4-1. For Scotty, his team-leading 63rd RBI. All this coming with 2 outs.
2 outs, and then Venice issues the base on balls to Morandini, followed by a double by Jefferies, and now Scott Rolen first pitch hitting. Gets one down and on the inside part of the plate. Scotty able to drop the head and just rifles it down the left field corner. No chance at all for Ron Gant to make a play as that ball off the padding. Stand up double for Rolen. Run number 4 for the Phillies, up by a score of 4-1.
Bronya, the tapper in front of the plate. Fair ball. DeFelice makes the play, but the Phillies go walk double to close the 7th and give Garret Stephenson a 4-1 lead. We'll head for the 8th next.
If you've been waiting to buy a new minivan, the Dodge Big Summer Clearance plays right into your hands. You see, it's even bigger than you might think. With up to $1,000 cash back on Caravan, or pay this low price for our 7-passenger Caravan, making it the lowest price minivan in the industry. So hurry to the Dodge Big Summer Clearance, because if you haven't figured it out already, it's big. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Hey, the road ahead awaits you. Hurry to Sears Road Trip Tire Sale featuring select Goodyear, Pirelli, Michelin, and Bridgestones. Roll me west. Sears Auto Center. Sale ends soon.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement. I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf ball's around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and Very good. Labidochromis, Caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Let's see, what else do I have on
It
this?
pays to discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile. For the most advanced digital network on the East Coast, choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile. By your local Dodge dealers, the more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. By Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you. By Nissan, who reminds you that life's a journey. Enjoy the ride. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. Terrific ball game tonight. Phil's in search of 4 in a row. Have given Garret Stephenson a couple more to work with. With Kent Jacoby, I'm Larry Rosen. Kevin Stocker comes in as a late inning defensive replacement for Kevin Sefcik. And Willie McGee will pinch hit for Bennis to start it, and bunts that one foul for strike one.
McGee has been the most productive pinch hitter that the Cardinals have. You see, hitting .291 overall, hitting .333 as a pinch hitter, 10 for 30, 1 home run, 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter.
McGee had been disabled with a pulled muscle in his side until Tuesday night. Finds a good spot for that one. He is a leadoff base runner. And bullpen action resumes down the right field line for Philadelphia.
Stradlin and Bottalico now throwing in the Phillies pen as Willie McGee does what he does best, swing the bat. It's a pitch down out over the plate and loops it into right center field. Willie McGee had to go into last night's ball game early as a center fielder, taking over for Ray Lankford, and it actually cost the Cardinals later in the ball game when they could have used his bat off the bench. He wasn't available, but he comes off the bench tonight with a pinch single.
Hit number 2,076 of his 15-year career. DeShields has a couple of hits tonight. Has that average right at 299. The Cardinals look to build an inning. Stephenson has made clutch pitches when he's needed to tonight. 1-1.
And legitimately, look at the Cardinals' chances in this ball game now, trailing by a score of 4 to 1, down by 3 runs. This is the inning they need to get it done. As they head at the top of the order now, and well, this is the last time they're going to get those big RBI guys in the middle of the lineup a chance to hit with men on base.
To center field. Otero broke in, but he'll recover. Out number 1. McGee had played it halfway.
What I mean by that is if Stephenson can get through this inning and keep the Cardinals off the board, then you will make McGwire, Gant, and Gaetti the guys that need to get on base to set up the big inning, as opposed to the guys that can drive in the big runs. That's not the way Tony La Russa wants to do it, and that's why Terry Francona and Galen Cisco have the bullpen up and are very diligently working to get the Phillies through this inning and keep the lead as big as possible. 3 runs would be terrific. Keep it right where it is. 4 to 1. Go to the 9th.
Clayton double clutches Rolen. 1 there. Mickey the turn. 2 there. Around the horn we go. We're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Around the horn and out of the 8th. Phil's lead 4-1.
Some people call them dumb animals. But there's one thing they understand, and a lot of humans don't. The physical activity is an essential part of healthy living. In fact, even moderate physical activity can help reduce your risk factors for heart disease, which makes acting like an animal anything but dumb. A message from the American Heart Association.
Mania. Excessive or unreasonable enthusiasm. Movie mania. An exciting, mind-numbing abundance of sensational stars. Blockbuster hits. And out-and-out great movies on Prism. Summer Movie Mania begins this May only on Prism. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
Hey, there's more to a Phillies game than just baseball. Check out the Fan Zone. Man, this place is awesome. Video batting challenge. Bet you the big green guy goes nuts in there. Some days they let the kids run the bases. Here we come into the bullpen. This is where I make my living. As you can see, I'm still in there. So come on out. It's fun.
On the Toyota National League scoreboard, Atlanta, Florida tied at 2 in the ninth. LA got 20 runs, or 20 hits rather, and a win for Nomo, 13-9 over Chicago. Larry Walker hit his 31st to lead the National League. Colorado over Pittsburgh 6-5. San Francisco with that new look pitching staff leads Cincinnati 7-2. Doug Strange a home run in that ball game. San Diego an 8-2 lead, and it's 1-1. Jason Hartke, a solo home run for New York in a game being watched closely by the St. Louis Cardinals. Our ball game, it's all Phillies tonight. Right now leading 4-1 behind Garret Stephenson. And a tremendous moment on the life of this young man, Curtis King, relief pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, who might know his way around this ballpark a little bit. Derek May greets him. Curtis King, Teague, a local product.
Yeah, native of Norristown. Went to Plymouth White Marsh High School. Also earned all conference and all regional honors at Philadelphia Textile. Still lives in the Norristown area. Curtis King making his major league debut for the St. Louis Cardinals, as you mentioned, in the ballpark where he just might have watched a few baseball games over the course of his young years.
And if he has a problem finding his way around, Mike DeFelice, his catcher, was born in Upper Darby. That almost hit him.
King, a 26-year-old big guy, 6'5", 205 pounds. Was selected in the 5th round of the June 1994 draft by the Cardinals.
He began the season at Double-A. Arkansas, where he had 16 saves as a closer, was promoted to Louisville, where he had a 2.05 earned run average in 16 ball games. Replaces T.J. Matthews on the roster and gives LaRussa that 7th pitcher again. As St. Louis carries a 6th pitcher, they carry one more reliever than most clubs. Smothered foul. King was drafted as a starting pitcher, converted into relief last year, and wound up with 30 saves at A-ball. A year later, he's in the big leagues. McGwire waits for the extra hop, needs help, got it. Out number 1. Parent has walked a couple times. 2 of the 6 walks issued by Bennis in what marred an otherwise outstanding performance. Hurt badly by the walks. The Phillies bullpen is quiet, Teague. Garret Stephenson has earned the opportunity to go for his 2nd major league complete game. Always nice to shake hands. Strike call. So 1-2 on Mark Parent. King's 26 years of age. You see the lack of action in the Phillies pen. To the hole and a base hit from Mark Parent. So he's a 1-out base runner for Kevin Stocker. It'll be Stocker's first at bat since coming on as a defensive replacement.
And now with Parent getting on base, there is going to be action in the Phillies bullpen. will be none other than Ricky Bottalico will start throwing as Ruben Amaro has moved out into the on-deck circle. So possibly Stephenson not going to get the opportunity. This inning continues as it's going right now to go for that complete game. There you see Ruben in the on-deck circle loosening up. And there's Ricky lurking.
Kevin Stocker has been on fire. He is 8 for 14 over the last 4 games. And over the last month, he's raised his average 40 points. He's had a solid season at 267. Straight up. Foul ball, out number 2. And Ruben Amaro will bat. Ending the evening's work for Garret Stephenson, accepting the handshakes of Curt Schilling. Curt in a similar spot like this last night, except his ball game was tied and he didn't get a chance to bat, so he went out there for the 9th.
Outstanding job by Stephenson this evening. Pitches 8 innings, gives up 9 hits, struck out 6 Cardinal batters, did not walk a man, gave up just the 1 run. So Garret Stephenson with a strong performance tonight, and he gives way now to Ricky Bottalico in the 9th inning as Ruben Amaro takes a swing. Talked about consistency with Stephenson. That's what he's looking for. And again, another solid outing. The last one was a little shaky out in LA. He had trouble with the long ball. No problems at all tonight for Stephenson. He was effective in and out, mixing his pitches. You know, Garret Stephenson, that's the way he pitches when he pitches well, and he pitched a beauty tonight.
For Garret Stephenson now, in his last 5 starts, he has given up 2 runs or fewer in 4 of them. Three games where he yielded just 1 earned run, and then the one night in LA where he gave up the 2 3-run home runs.
And we talked about it earlier on, Larry, about Stephenson. When he's effective, he's aggressive. You look at those numbers tonight. No base on balls. He was ahead in the count all night long. Put him in a position to mix his pitches, expand the strike zone. Good job.
Doesn't look like he worked up much of a sweat. I mean, every hair's in place. He looks like he's just about to start the ball game. Walk in the park for Garret.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was a daggone good night.
Yes, it was. Amaro slaps it foul the other way, so still 2-2. Mark Parent on first, 2 out, off speed pitch is up, so the count rides full, and Parent will get the jump as McGwire will move back away. Not too many people look eye to eye with Mark Parent, but Mark McGwire does. It's a pair of big boys.
Well, that would be a heck of a collision,
wouldn't it? Woo. Mark runs, ball 4. First major league walk issued by Curtis King. And Parent moves into scoring position for Ricky Otero. Otero walked and scored the game's first run. Otherwise, nothing for 3. Foul just below us as Otero had a good hack at that. The King fastball clocked at 91 miles an hour. Cardinals play Otero to the opposite field. Kent very shallow, trying to be able to throw out Parent at the plate. You see how up Gant is. A little bit more respect for the power of Otero out of Plantier and the big gap in right center field. To Hopper to Shields. So now it becomes Ricky Bottalico time. Bo about to come out of the bullpen and try to save win number 5 for Garret Stephenson. We will head for the ninth. Phils lead 4-1.
Dodge Ram is #1 in horsepower, #1 in torque, #1 in payload. Dodge Ram is even #1 in ownership experience. In fact, Dodge Ram is #1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So by changing all the rules about what a truck should be, Dodge pickups are now #1 in sales growth all across America. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Deep in the forest under railroad trees lives a big blue bear and his family. They laugh all together, they play all together, they sing and dance and stay all together. So if you're ever in the forest under railroad
Midas, Auto Systems experts.
So, you want to see my Discover Card statement? I am very, very prissy.
What up or shut up?
I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Toyota American League scoreboard. Seattle doesn't need a new closer tonight. They trail 8-0. New York leads Minnesota 8-1 in the 7th. Toronto has home runs from Nixon, Carter, and Cruz. Detroit from Clark and Casanova. 6-5 wild ball game. Boston, Mo Vaughn, Mike Stanley, Nomar Garciaparra home runs. They lead Kansas City. Cleveland and Texas are tied at 3. Williams, Tomei, and Fernandez all with solo home runs for Cleveland. And a couple of ball games later on tonight, including Erickson in search of win number 14 for Baltimore at Oakland. We move to the top of the 9th. Phils with a 4-1 lead, and Ricky Bottalico in rare air chance for back-to-back saves. Kent Colby
looking for save number 20.
No, he got the win.
He got
That's
the win
right,
last night. Yeah, looking for save number 20 tonight. See Ricky's numbers right there. Got win number 2 on the year last night. Looking for save number 20 this evening. This is the kind of situation Ricky likes to be in. Able to contribute, you know, night after night after night, as opposed to those long stretches in between save opportunities. So imagine Ricky's a little pumped up right now. Got a nice 3-run lead to work with, and because Garret Stephenson was able to handle the top of the order last inning, has the 3-run lead to work with, and the mashers coming up as the guys that need to get on, as opposed to the guys that can tie this ball game up with one swing of the bat. So Stephenson's work in the 8th made it a little easier for Bottalico here in the 9th. See Plantier 0 for 3 on the evening. Actually has made 4 outs in 3 at bats. Struck out the first 2 times and then grounded into a double play. A big double play in the 6th inning. And the Cardinals had runners on first and second, nobody out. Plantier grounded into that double play, and that was a key spot in the ball game for Stephenson.
Shows bunt. Perrin thought he had that. It's 3-0. Bottalico falling behind Plantier. Tonight's paid attendance, 17,171. Three and 1.
Plantier showing bunt, but that was just to take all the way, as he was heading to count 3 balls and no strikes with his club down by 3.
Strike 2.
The veteran doing what he should do, taking another pitch, just to give Bottalico a chance to give the Cardinals a free base runner. Ricky does not oblige.
To center field again. Otero breaks in, breaks back, has it. Seems like Ricky's got that first step coming forward style in center field, but has broken back and handled everything over his head tonight.
Take a look at Bottalico. You just see the end of the play as he heads back on this ball, but his good speed, plenty of time to get back there and make the catch short of the warning track. 1 down, 2 to go for Bottalico. Cardinal fans.
Good-looking logo.
Yeah, did a nice job on short notice getting that sign ready for tonight's ball game.
I guess that pitch was called high. 1-0. McGwire not only homers a lot, he homers frequently per at-bat. He is second all-time and the only non-Hall of Famer on that list in terms of at-bat to home run ratio. And he's got Batalico coming with a 2-0. Takes all the way as a veteran should. Down by 3. A walk's almost as good as a home run here. Two and two. Ricky Batalico was the relief pitcher of the month in the National League in the month of May. Then in June had only 4 save opportunities, and in July had just 5. Down low. Teak, you go 2 months as a closer and only have 9 save opportunities in about 57, 58 ball games. That wears on you, I would imagine.
Well, it wears on you mentally more than physically. Obviously, Ricky, getting plenty of rest during that time because he wasn't overused. But, mentally, you like to stay on top of being in that situation night after night.
That was the A cut from McGwire, and he fouled it back.
Well, 3-2 with a 3-run lead. You're supposed to challenge. Batalico does with that fastball up. Mentioned McGwire with that uppercut swing. Where you want to keep the ball is up in the strike zone. His power zone is down. Pretty good matchup for Batalico if he can unleash one of those good fastballs up in the zone. Up, misses down and away and walks McGwire.
So McGwire a base runner for the first time in his NL career, and that is the first walk issued by Phillies pitching tonight. With that 3-run lead, the most Gant could do would be to get his club within 1. Gant has struck out now 115 times this season, near the league lead. Phillies playing deep, slightly to pull, and hoping for the double play ball. Leiter talks to Stephenson on the top step. Blew it by him, strike 1. Ricky cranked that one out at 95 miles an hour.
Gant just the opposite type of hitter from McGwire. He likes the ball up and on the inside part of the plate. He's an inside part hitter. So the way you pitch McGwire is just the exact opposite of the way you pitch to Ron Gant. So you have a little change in your philosophy here when you go from McGwire to Gant.
Strike 2. That was up and in.
It was up and in, which is Gant's zone, but it was well off the plate. And because Gant likes to pitch in that area, he swung at it. You see that fastball nowhere near the strike zone. But it looked good to Ron Gant, swung and missed.
You going slider away, you're coming back in?
I'm going fastball away.
Okay.
And down.
That was the slider.
And he left it up in the middle of the plate, too.
He did.
Fortunately, Gant was
thinking like
fastball all the way and had a very weak swing at it.
Though slider is at 86 miles an hour, so not much time to adjust.
In case you're looking for a double play ball to end this game, Ron Gant has not hit into a double play all year long. Going to go with the curveball. Get it down. Well, that was a little too far down.
Very nice block by Parrott. McGwire doesn't think about advancing as that hit well in front of home plate.
Well, Ricky thinking the same way I was. Keep it down, but he kept it way down. Parrott has to play the Bernie Perrant style right there as he tries to keep the ball out of the basket.
And he walks halfway out to the mound with a couple of words for Batalico, who will take the walk behind.
One thing about Mark McGwire on first base, he will not take any liberties at all on the bases. He is not a speedy runner at all. In fact, over the course of his career, he's stolen a total of 7 bases in 15 years. Been thrown out 8 times. So don't look for McGwire to be moving around too much out there.
Swing and a miss, struck him out as Batalico goes away with the slider for out number 2.
That's a curve ball, and it's down and it's away. Take a look right here. Perfect pitch. Ron Gant completely extended. Tries to one-handed just to make contact. Nothing doing. 2 down, 1 to go.
And that one is Gary Gaetti. Gaetti's got a couple of base hits. Backhanded by Parent. McGwire at first base, and Garret Stephenson 1 out away from evening his record at 5-5. He has been a revelation for the Phillies. To Rolen, take the short route, and the Phillies have won 4 in a row. Save number 20 for Ricky Bottalico. Win number 5 for the rookie Garret Stephenson. And a fine performance all around. Phillies' longest winning streak of the season. And knocking off these Cardinals twice in a row has put a major dent in whatever hopes they have of making a run at Houston with Mark McGwire in the middle of their lineup. McGwire goes 0 for 3 with a walk in his NL debut, and the Phillies have now won 4 consecutive ball games. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. We'll come back and wrap it up from Veterans Stadium in a moment.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone. He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ground ball. Great play. Stocker. Can he get him? He got him. He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phil's win. Hit to deep right field. It's gone.
Get ready for the Mania. Movie Mania. Summer Movie Mania begins this May only on Prism. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
Every day there are more and more demands on your time, so you should demand more from your bank. Like the ease of banking by phone, banking from just about anywhere by PC, or anytime by ATM, and the convenience of full-service banking 7 days a week at all of our supermarket locations. To find out more, stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELON-24. Melon, it's where you're going.
Well, it's been the best week of the season for the Philadelphia Phillies. Won their last couple on the West Coast and won their first couple against the Cardinals. Final score 4-1. Garret Stephenson 8 strong innings. Ricky Bottalico with save number 20. And for Stephenson, it came down to a couple of clutch pitches. The most notable one came in a 2-1 ball game, top 6. Runner on third, 2 outs, and Mark McGwire in his National League debut. And T gets our Budweiser play of the game.
Our Budweiser play of the game, and Stephenson made a great pitch right here. 2 balls and no strikes. Stayed out of the zone. Jammed McGwire. Got him to ground the ball to third base. This is, sometimes there are important innings in ball games. It was the 6th inning for Stephenson tonight as the Cardinals had runners on first and second. Nobody out. Got Plantier to hit into a double play. Left Delano DeShields at third and then took care of Mark McGwire with that ground ball to third right there. So Garret Stephenson did it when he had to tonight. Talk about the double play ball. Another one here in the 8th inning. Morandini, DeBronia got Stephenson out of another jam. Garret Stephenson was on top of it all night long. An outstanding ball game for him and win number 4 in a row for the Philadelphia Phillies.
You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. When we come back, Major League scores and highlights. Stay tuned, everybody.
Say Merry Christmas. Did you have a good Christmas? Yeah, get lots of stuff. Yay! Get your horsey. Do something cute. You're just gonna sit there and grin?
If you don't stop your friend from driving drunk, who will? Do whatever it takes.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone. He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ground ball. Great play. Stocker. Can he get him? He got him. He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phillies win. Hit to deep right field. It's gone.
If you've been waiting to buy a new minivan, the Dodge Big Summer Clearance plays right into your hands. You see, it's even bigger than you might think. With up to $1,000 cash back on Caravan, or pay this low price for our 7-passenger Caravan, making it the lowest priced minivan in the industry. So hurry to the Dodge Big Summer Clearance, because if you haven't figured it out already, it's big. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Phillies baseball has been brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, it's where you're going. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on. Phillies played solid baseball, got strong pitching, clutch 2-out hitting, beat the St. Louis Cardinals for the second straight night, 4 in a row, win it by a final score of 4-1. This the 30th birthday for one Greg Jeffries, and he had a couple of clutch RBI knocks, Teague.
Yeah, here's a RBI double that he had to put the Phillies out in front 3-1 in the 7th inning. After 2 outs and nobody on, Morandini walked, and then Greg delivered the double down the right field line, scored Mickey all the way around from first base as he was moving on the pitch. Greg also with another RBI on his birthday in the 3rd inning as he grounded out in the infield to get the first run, or the second run of the game across. So Greg Jeffries with a good offensive night, but the story of this evening is Garret Stephenson, the job that he did on the mound. We talked about the work that he did in the 6th inning, getting himself out of trouble. Take a look right here. A perfect pitch on Ron Gant as he froze him with the big looping curveball. That is one of Garrett's 6 strikeouts on the evening.
And the key statistic, no walks for Garret Stephenson.
Taking advantage of that, have now got that 4-game win streak, looking for number 5 tomorrow.
Now let's look around Major League Baseball, where some pennant chases are heating up, and bring you up to date on what's been happening throughout baseball tonight. We start